Cronin. Unfortunately, all our other segments that we have taken from the website and put up here on YouTube were taken down, and that was because I basically used clips from the Red Sox and the Patriots and everybody and put some song over it. And, worked pretty hard on the intro that really didn't show too much. It was really quick flashes here and there with some distortion and stuff. But somehow it's still copyrighted and it still got removed. And I still don't know what the fuck to do about it. Now, I didn't want to have to swear on the show. I really didn't. I wanted to keep it fairly professional at an amateur level. But, that's not going to happen because people have nothing better to do but to look all over YouTube and, take my 10-second clips of a few sports teams, shots, and whatever. But anyway, so the intro's pretty much ruined, so I'm going to have to come up with something else, even though I think the other one kicked ass. But we're not going to be able to do it anymore. So, whatever. Who cares? But be that as it may, I don't remember if I have talked about this on the YouTube site yet. But something we've been talking about has been the battle between WEEI and the Sports Hub or whatever. And I gotta be honest, when I first heard about WBCN going bye-bye, I just figured that, there's no way that anybody else is gonna come in here and dominate WEEI's airwaves, and they haven't. There hasn't been any domination, but for the most part, any other sports talk station or anything like that that's come up or had a show to rival EEI has been squashed. I mean, to be completely honest, they've just. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. The Celtics are playing Cleveland right now. The Celtics are up 87-83, and there was just several collisions with 1 minute and 28 seconds to go in the fourth quarter on the court, and I just had to look up for a second. But no, there hasn't been another sports talk channel to come on the radio airwaves here in New England or Boston worthy of even competing on WEI's level. And I think for the first time that has happened, because I'll tell you what, I turned the channel the other day, and I've been listening. The shows have been really good. Surprisingly, and the real reason it's not the station. It's nothing more than the fact that a lot of the guys have been doing this for so long. There's just a large talent pool for radio talk show hosts, and it's great. It's great radio. So now it's actually tough to decide who you're going to listen to. I'm flipping back and forth all the time. I make the Whiner line must hear radio, and some of the Big Show. I gotta hear it, and for the most part, I gotta hear a little bit of Dale and Holly. I completely don't listen in the morning on WEI anymore to Republican talk or whatever they call it. So, and me saying that in an ignorant way, by the way, I would just like to say that I think the morning show on WEI is unbelievable. I think they're great. Dennis and Callahan, I think, are wonderful. Now, I can't stand to listen to it, so I don't. I know a lot of people that can't stand it and can stand it do listen to it, either side of the fence they're on, but I actually don't listen to it anymore because I just cannot stand it. It makes my ears want to bleed down my chest and stomach onto my crotch, and I can't deal with it. So, unfortunately, I don't listen anymore, but I think that, be that as it may, even though I don't like it, I can say honestly that it's a great show and great chemistry, and I listen to Toucher and Rich now. I listen to them on BCN. It's tough. It's a tough thing to listen to people like Touch and Rich now, because I feel like I've grown up with Howard Stern a lot when I was a kid, listening to him. Before him, a little bit of Imus, and then the shock jocks started popping up all over the place. Opie and Anthony, and then having them come on the air and get kicked off the air and then back on the air again, and all that stuff. And then to see another group do kind of just recycling what others have done, but also creating their own material. I don't think I'll ever feel committed to, there was a time while listening to Howard Stern and listening to Opie and Anthony that, I wanted to go outside and just put wow and Howard, whatever you can think of, stickers all over the place and tell everyone about them and be like, you have to listen to this show. This is unbelievable. But now I just don't get that excited anymore because it seems like it's been done. Although I love Toucher and Rich. I do think they're funny, and I think they've hooked a lot of people, and they got a great show and all that. And I do listen occasionally. But if there was never a Howard Stern or never an Opie and Anthony or never a couple other people that I could think of, and it was just Toucher and Rich, I might be obsessed with them. I might be listening every day. But, and how much more can you do in radio, I guess? So I think actually their transition from BCN to the Sports Hub is actually a good one because now they can filter in a little bit more sports to go along with, whatever they're doing. I'm just hoping that they don't get too watered down because of the change in the format, because I really did enjoy the previous show. I know I've had a lot of contradictions in what I've said on here just now. I've contradicted myself a lot. The boy in the mother's basement has come out a little bit. But I just want to say that I would have uploaded the rest of the shows and everything onto this YouTube site. And this is not on our webcast right now, by the way. I'm recording this just for YouTube. And I just want to say that I would have had all those shows up here, but I just lost interest once. I lost interest once the goddamn intro was taken down by YouTube or whoever the hell copyright claimed it. I don't know. I really shouldn't be working like this. I should be working at a radio station or on a TV station or a webcast radio show that has some kind of credibility. But no, I am doing my own stuff that honestly I'm not really putting a lot of time into, as you can tell. I would hope not, because it's not very good. But it's basically my opinions. And that's all you're going to hear on here. And that's answering a few questions that I got in my email about what the format and calling in and all that stuff. I'm done with it. Because, you get 30 or 40 people a night, different people, but it's just not going anywhere, and I'm too busy, and I'm trying to get some kind of money in, and so this is what I'm doing now. But after all that, if somehow you're still listening to this right now, I want to now move away from the EEI Sports Hub argument, or not argument, but opinion, and maybe just touch quickly on what I've seen here. Close out the Red Sox saying that I called WEEI. In fact, I'll play the clip of it right now for you of what I said. And shit, I hope I have it, because I'm going to pause this right now, go look for it, and I'll be right back in 1 second. Of when I called EEI and I said that there's no way the Red Sox are winning the World Series and that the Yankees are winning the World Series, and this was in friggin' July. And they thought that I can't remember what they thought I was saying. I think the Red Sox had just lost a bunch in a row, so they figured I was hitting the fucking panic button. But no, WEEI. And I think I don't remember who I talked to. It was either the Big Show or Mike Adams. Probably the Big Show, because Mike Adams isn't a douchebag. I think they just thought I was nuts and pushing the panic button, but no, I wasn't. I was dead serious. The Red Sox, and I love Victor Martinez as a pickup. I've said it before. I love the pickup. He obviously contributed big time to the Red Sox, but I just believed after not making a move for Roy Halladay that it was done. It was over. We needed a pitcher. We needed that pitcher. For the rest of the season. But honestly, looking back now, that may be the reason I gave then, but the reason I have now is just they weren't that good. The Red Sox weren't good enough to make it. They were bored. They were plain. They were too plain. There wasn't that extra punched. They needed something else. They needed Martinez and Roy Halladay is what they needed. And that was, to hear the rest of this YouTube video, please click over to part 2.